Alright folks, welcome at this exciting video where you once again join us exploring some wild Scottish landscape here. In this episode we've come to the beautiful Lunan Bay here, where the sands is white and yeah, the landscape's just incredible. And today we're going to explore up the coast to an area that we've never been to before on the channel, and yeah, it's cool to always keep exploring new things. I was at these military bunkers in the past year. Probably if you go back through the channel you'll be able to find that. But yeah, there's some cool stuff in it. And if we see any more military bunkers and stuff too, that could be epic. But yeah, the adventure's real once again, folks. It's a spontaneous adventure. We don't even know like what we're going to see, what we're going to do. We're just kind of, we're going to head up the coast this way and kind of see what cracks, folks. So let's get into it. These ships here are like chilling out in the water. Some of them are massive. This one's got a helicopter flight deck and everything on there.
It's so easy to walk on.
Oh aye. Look at this sand here, it's crazy.
It's solid.
Yeah, I think it's frozen. Look at this folks, we've come way out here on this beach, miles from the coast. Well, no miles, but quite far out. Look, we're out right at the edge of the sea, and a weird thing, all these posts are trapped into the ground out here, and normally this is quite far under the water, and each one of them's got like a bit of rope on it. So the only thing we could think it must be is like for tying boats 2 years ago or something, if they must have done fishing or something around this area. So it is crazy. Like normally when the tide and that's in, this would be, the water would be well above our heads right now, and this is like the only thing we can see on the beach for like 10 miles each direction here. It's crazy. And just look at the view folks, it's magical. It's a majestic scene out here folks. These ships are just chilling out here too. It's just crazy. The landscape here is just amazing. And we're going to head on up all the way around hopefully to that corner in the land way out there. So it's epic. Look at this folks, we're now at the top end of this beach and we've walked absolute miles up here. And now we're waiting to try and tackle this bit of coast to go out around that corner. It's a bit of land we've never explored before. There's a big pole totally sticking out the ground here. The landscape's crazy folks. Look at this folks, the landscape around here is just incredible. These waves are rolling in and we're just looking at the land, making sure we're not going to get cut off by the tide, which could potentially happen at bits like this.
Right here, yeah.
But there is a bit we can climb up around the corner that I can see from here, so we're safe. And we'll be able to walk right along the top of that hill. These rocks though are just absolutely incredible. The waves is rolling in at this other side of us.
That's a bit.
Oh aye. Methyl it says on it. Look at this, it's an engine. Oh, gearbox. There's the drive shaft. It's not actually that old. Well, it's pretty old, but you know what I mean? It's not actually vintage, I wouldn't have said.
Yeah.
Oh aye. Rock with a big like thing through it. Look at that too, another bit of a building. Yeah, proper seam through it. Look at this folks, these rocks here, it's like a volcanic land we're walking through right here. These rocks are just incredible. How can I describe that? Hey, what do you think of that channel, DJ? Yeah, it's like the sand's made out of little shells, chunks. Well, probably sedimentary. But these ones here are volcanic. These have been flown at one time to be like that. Whereas some of the other rocks are like sedimentary. But you can see here how like the rock has been flown at one time. It is crazy to see stuff like that, folks, when you're out exploring the land. Yeah, imagine the world from a time before humans. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is a proper little cove. There'll be no wind in here.
This is the
Look at that.
easiest stuff.
This is crazy, folks. Check this little cove out. The tide must come in here when it comes in, but
Yeah.
it's an insane little spot. It's just been worn out. Look at the way these rocks look. It's insane. Totally out of the wind in this little spot. It's magic, folks. You never know what you're going to find on an adventure like this. It's like landscape like this, massive and crazy. Check this out, folks. Wow, this landscape here is just magical. You can't describe that. It probably doesn't even come over on the video. Like, the wild, smooth, calm beach, and then at the end of it, boom, this incredible like rock structure. Just the way the sea has eroded at the end of the land reveals the rocks, and they've all got their own story to tell as well. And I'm thinking with these rocks here, they do look like they've been flown in a volcanic state at one time, because they've got all these like quartz fissures going all the way through them, different angles. It's wild. Some of these pebbles were probably washed off the rock faces at one time. Yeah. It's crazy as well, you see the different layers, the different colours of the rocks.
Like, I think this one's got a disease.
Wow. It's maybe got iron in it or something and it's causing it to rust. It's such a strange colour for a rock, that. Wow. That's one of the craziest rocks that we've seen this year. I've not looked at loads of rocks, but look at this one down here. Look at this, folks. This is absolutely insanity.
You've got
Get
a
it?
network of fucking...
Yeah, looks like it's got a nervous system. There's like little thin lines going all the way through it. It's like, it's
I
crazy.
think these have broken off these biggies.
Yeah, look at the colour of this one with the little red bits through it. See, in the volcanic times of Britons, they could have come very deep within the Earth's crust. As the plates move kind and bash together, rocks from way down get forced up to the surface. And that's what a lot of like crazy colours and stuff come from. Crazy like quartz. You see so much quartz and like flint and stuff in the rocks. Look at this, folks. Here's an engine. Still got a timing belt and everything on it, look. That is crazy. That must match that gearbox that we saw back there. Look, it's a Volkswagen engine. I see it on the pipe. No way. So there you go, folks. Look, it's got a wee turbo there. Is that a wee turbo? No way. Crazy, folks. There's the crankshaft and stuff.
Turbo diesel.
Yeah. It's amazing what you see washed up by the sea, folks. Engine and the gearbox now. Amongst all this wild rocks and stuff, it's like humans leave their mark. Yeah, the rest of the motor will be here somewhere. Look at this, folks. Crazy little arch in the land there, a natural arch. Probably when the tide's in, it comes rushing through that. This landscape we're exploring here is just wild. Look at this, folks, there's like bricks or something here for a house. You never know with stuff like this because it could have been thrown over the edge at one time. Yeah, there's tons of bits of stone and that here. Bricks with cement. Maybe at one time it was some sort of like coastal defence or something, military. Yeah. Other things it could be, like sometimes they would just like throw old garden debris or old sheds and stuff. Farmers used to dump stuff into the water. Everybody did back in the day. Yeah, look, there's proper stuff here. I wonder if it's remains of an old coastal defence or something, because there is a lot of that around the Lunan Bay area. Look at it, folks, it's all the way around here. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The tide's slowly coming in, folks, so we are being aware of that.
Hey, that's fucking quick.
Oh, aye. Yeah, look, there's bits of it all the way along here. Look at it, folks, just bits of buildings. Crazy. Doesn't it look like up on the hill there has been anything, but you never know. Coastal erosion every year. Wipes stuff out. This is like a little miniature kind of waterfall running in there. There's not much water going down it like, but crazy, folks. Right, folks, we've now come around the corner of that extremely windy cliff right there, and we've just come and found this little private little bay here. It's magical. Yeah, but I think this has been like a fishery kind of house here. Look at this, folks, it's a crazy little pebble beach. That's an old like fishing bothy, I'm pretty sure, on top of the hill. Some of these will be fishing bothies as well, other areas will be houses. They'll be owned by local fishermen, stuff like that. But also I think some of them are houses, like, I'm not sure. And another crazy thing, folks, like, we've never seen around the corner here, so we're going for a look. It's insane. It's almost like there should be a road here somewhere, there's just not a road. And then is there a road, look, coming down the back? That's what it is, folks. There's cool little boats sitting here. They must be living the fishing dream, but look, the tide must be pretty far in before they bring their boats in. There's a sewage pipe leading out from back in the day. And they've got a winch here for winching the fishing boats in. It's a cool little bit of coast here, folks. We're literally miles now away from like the Red Castle area and that, the beach where we started. The tide is coming in, but this is like a whole another little bit of Scottish landscape here. It's cool to share it with the world, so I've never even seen it myself. And now we've come around this side of the cove. We're pretty near that big ship which is chilled out there. A little stream, little water source. Crazy, folks. I'm thinking this will be little, maybe holiday homes or a little fishing. Probably the boys that run the fishing and stuff around here will hear these houses. But it looks like there is a road in round there. It's just such a nice little coastal spot, this. And it looks like the path leads round the coast here. That's exactly what we need. Look at this, folks. Credit to the channel DJ for having a look up here. But look, 1852 it says on there. WHEN. 1852. So that puts a date on the history down here with the wee fishing community that probably built this little village. This would have been in a little village of its era.
Yeah.
And whereas now it doesn't look like there's a lot going on down here. Yeah, it's quite a nice little spot though. Anyway, we're away to continue our adventure around the coast. Just imagine what it looked like in 1852 here. Probably our wifey's sitting outside the front here, like sewing stitching up the nets and
yeah.
They would have, I don't know where they would have fished if they would have gone way out to the sea. Probably they would have, but also they probably kicked about over here with creel nets and stuff.
So it's little,
Little vegetable patch here and stuff. Would be cool to have a fish down in a wee spot like that. Crazy folks. They all must have their own little boats. Must be a little water tank or something up there, or it would have been a shed at one time. The wind is extreme here folks, but I just thought I would show you this wall. This is what sandstone looks like if the wind is this strong most days of the week, battering it, hurtling the rain against it, and it just wears away the stone like this. Check it out. It's totally gone to the elements. It's got a little window, probably built the way back in the 1800s as well. Would have been like a little fishing bothy. They would have sorted out their fish after their day's catch. Would have had the fire on there keeping warm from these crazy coastal winds. Look at this folks, we've now come as far around this coastal bit as we can without getting cut off by the tide. But we're going to just take a peek around here I think and see if we can see what is around here. It's probably just more a wild coast. But yeah, we're going to try and also get a path. There's a separate path at the top. So yeah, we're going to try and get up to there. So the adventure's not over yet folks, as I'd said. But I'm just curious to see what's round the bottom of this cliff. Crazy. Look at this folks, we're getting right down to sea level now. Look at this folks, if you walked around there you would get cut off by the tide. But I literally just wanted to have a look. For the adventure folks, I'm always curious to see what's round the corner. And it is often so interesting. Documenting bits of Scotland that you would never normally see. You can clearly see the normal tidal height is right above my head. Look how close we are to that ship now out there. On the GoPro it still looks quite far away, but see once the tide's in it'll be right above our head. The wind's so extreme here though folks, I'll update you. I'll update you once we're further out. Crazy though. Look at this folks, look at this magical landscape here. We're at the top of the cliff right now, approaching Lunan Bay again. And the wind is just so extreme and so cold. It's absolutely insane folks. But yeah, I just thought I would update you with the landscape. Look at this folks, this random stone here on this pinnacle of land. We're not even sure what it is. It's like there's something underneath us right now. Maybe a shed or something. Look at it folks. It's got these bits sticking out of it. Crazy. Anyway, it's a bit of a precarious bit of land folks, but we're just curious as to why that was there and what it was. Another interesting historical artefact. This path here is super slippy because it is icy. We're out, the wind is below zero, like surely, the wind chill factor. Look at this folks, they've got wee gardens and stuff up here on the hill. Must be a bit of a community little garden thing around this neck of the woods. Yeah.
Perfect for pollinating.
Look at this spot, folks, at the end of Lunan Bay here. We're greeted with this magical scene. And it's got these cool little like cabin things. I think they must be like holiday homes or little weekend getaway kind of cabins. And then look at this, there's loads of these World War II defences around here. This is crazy. Check the neck of that shed, it's just on its last legs. People have been chilling it probably here for years by the sea.
Massive bits of concrete.
Yeah, that's an anti-tank bollard from war. All these here. This was to stop them. As we've seen on previous videos, folks, it stops the attackers invading from the sea with their big tanks or any other sort of like big vehicles. Yeah, there's loads of these tank traps around here. I'm pretty sure there's a path takes us up to the corner of that field. So once again, folks, we're exploring the unbeaten path out here. It's crazy. Check it out. We're up above the beach on this other hill, just crossing these fences where we can. Where the wire's low enough to step over without doing any damage. It's crazy. We're just away to check this mound of land here, folks, to see if there's any abandoned history up here. Yeah, this is overlooking those cabins that we were just at a minute ago. This must be a little camping area of the hair, so if you're staying at that, maybe they rent some of them out. Yeah, there's nothing here. Look at this, folks, we've made it as far down this other end of the beach now and we've come out of the wind finally. It's been such a cold winter day and the temperatures are so freezing. We're literally just trying to make our way back around the coast. But at least the sun's shining. This has been one of the first bits on the walk. The wind's not just howling through. But that's winter exploring for you, folks. You get it all on this channel. All different times of year. Last time I came here exploring those bunkers, I was just in my t-shirt. Amazing summer weather back then. Crazy little paths here, folks, up through this magical landscape back towards Red Castle. You never saw this at the start of the video, but we walked right down here, but it was too windy back then. See, now it's quite nice at this side of the beach. Like, the wind halfway down though was so extreme. But up here is the old Red Castle, which dates back to like the 1500s. Look at it, folks. Crazy. It's crazy to imagine when a thing like this was built, folks. It was back in the real days of the clan wars and the old clan battles of Scotland. And it's insane. It's a crazy structure, that, folks. Imagine the history and the time that's passed by since that was built. And I think a lot of coastal erosion has taken place as well. That's how this place is just about falling down the hill now. It's insane though. Look at the erosion, how it's made a hole right through this. Pretty soon it'll be on the ground, pile of rubble. All that ancient Scottish history will just be gone. Look at the way the stones are shaped around the top. And look at this, folks. I think this is a later house for like 1800s. It's been within the grounds of the castle. Maybe like a caretaker or something. And then even now this is just abandoned.
The decorative stones along the top, eh?
1966. Yeah, the timbers of the roof would have been on top of those stones, I reckon.
Yeah, but you would have thought you would have seen some lying about.
But I think it's just such a long time ago.
The shaped stones, eh?
probably are just underneath all that grassy stuff though now.
Yeah.
The ones that's fallen down. And I'm not sure if the council ever took anything away. There's been a fair chunk of that castle which has fallen down now, like. Even this, I think the wall would have led right around the top. Well, right around the perimeter. And these stones you see sticking out would have supported like a walkway around the top. A defensive walkway kind of veranda bit. Because maybe back in those days they would have had archers and stuff like that up in those areas. Maybe walking the perimeter. And then the main castle would have been in the middle. It's almost like travelling back in time, coming to a place like that and just seeing it and imagining it. It's crazy, a crazy time in Scottish history. And then around this windy side of the castle, it's insane. Look at this window. The wear on these stones. Crazy. Look, D. Bruce has written his name there. Shout out D. Bruce. See the way this wall tapers in as well, that makes me think there's potentially been like a gate into the castle grounds here at one time. Back then this would have been land going out further before it eroded away. It is.
It's not.
Comes down here though.
It's the fucking sea, it comes that way and then goes out that way.
Look at this folks, from here at the top of this with the magical beach view you can see the World War II tank traps leading out and right around here in like a circle. And that is a cool bit, it looks like there's paths and stuff right along it. If it wasn't so cold here, kind of scene like that just looks like Australia or something, a warm climate area with the white sands and the blue sky.
It's a walkway.
Look at this folks, just past Red Castle there's absolute carnage with these trees blown down with that recent wind. It was absolute insanity folks, and the proper path is blocked, but there's a few other bits worn now from people walking this direction, and the little Honda's just chilling in there. I think that would have been like an original footpath maybe to the castle back in the day, because there is a proper old iron gate down here at these pillars. Right folks, I'll end this episode here, we're just about back at the car. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ. That's been a cool Lunan Bay adventure. Lunan Bay and the Lunan Estuary, that's what that sign says, that's where we've been. But anyway, it's been cool folks, I'll end it here. Thanks very much for watching. Tune in again soon. See you later.